Scarlet Knights, and Thompson wins the tap, and the Buckeyes have it underway here in Columbus. It's the 5th all-time meeting between these two programs. Ohio State has won 3 of the first 4. This is Jackson for 3 up top, and that's been an issue, Sean, for Jackson. A great three-point shooter before arriving in Columbus, but hasn't found that touch here in the Big Ten.
Only 21% from behind the arc, and this is his first season in Columbus.
More than 100 threes last year at Eastern Florida State Community College. Here's Freeman slashing and foul.
Calling card for Rutgers, and it pays dividends.
And the free throw line has been an issue for Rutgers, and they're not alone, but the Scarlet Knights dead last as a team at the free throw line, 63%. Jayshawn Tate. We're now guarded by Freeman. Muscles up and scores.
And a pretty good job initially defensively by Freeman. But Corey, you have to understand, Lyle, he may dribble to the right, but he's always going to come back to that left hand. You have to continue to maintain defensive discipline.
Well, Steve Peichel told us at shoot-around today that, hey, Tate presents a matchup problem for us. No denying that. Getty's bobbled and lost it, the Columbus native. And now Jackson with the push. In transition, floater short, and Freeman the rebound. Rutgers a terrific rebounding team. Mason Chom in the starting lineup again tonight. Corey Sanders a deep 2 with a toe on the line. Sanders coming off a strong game, 25 points, a season high 39 minutes in State College over the weekend.
Hey, Corey, let's see offensively if Ohio State tries to take advantage of the mismatch. The freshman Chom guarding the senior Loving.
Here's the touch for Thompson. Against Getty's off the glass.
He created a little space there.
Thompson a year ago averaged 7 points per game. This year he has increased his scoring at around 11 per contest.
Double-double last time out for the Buckeyes in that win in Ann Arbor. Second in the conference in rebounding is Thompson at 9 per outing.
Here's Mike Williams, and Williams knocks down the 3.
He's the only viable, consistent three-point shooting.
35 minutes, and that 2-point win on Saturday. Already 4 lead changes in the first 3 minutes here tonight. Here's that matchup. Rutgers dead last in the Big Ten in threes made per game, just averaging 4 made threes per contest. Tate stripped, got it back, and then lost it. And now Sanders off the inbounds pass to Steele. Thompson trying to get back. Instead, it's a Sanders layup.
And Sanders shows you why he's among the conference leaders in steal. He was a season ago as well, Corey, but far more disciplined on both ends of the floor, especially defensively, not going for as many gambling-type plays.
Terrific start tonight for Rutgers on both ends of the floor. Loving trying to answer. Came off the rim, and Chom lost. Here's Williams, the floater. Fell off. Loving had position inside. Instead, it's Chom. Buckeyes 2 of 6 from the field so far. Rutgers 3 of 3. Freeman had it swatted, and Getty's between the legs. Went to Findlay High School here in Columbus. Graduate senior transfer. UNC Wilmington.
Was on that team for the Seahawks that advanced to the NCAA tournament a year ago.
Freeman, the spin, had it blocked. Good defense that time from Tate. And now Loving. Lone Ohio State senior Loving. Jayshawn Tate. Loving a deep 3.
Yeah, and what happened there was just a breakdown in communication defensively. They tried a little bit of a misdirection. Tate comes one way, and then Chom got kind of caught up, did not recover in time to Loving. And again, Ohio State able to take advantage of the inexperience.
Loving has shot the 3 well in conference play. In Big Ten play alone, he's up around 45%. Sanders the miss, and Thompson the rebound.
I'd go back there again if I'm Ohio State.
Instead, Cam Williams for the lead.
Or you could do that. That worked out well. And Williams led the conference in three-point shooting a year ago, has dropped off a little bit, but still a very viable offensive threat from behind the line at 38%.
Yeah, it's 55% in conference play last year. 6-0 Ohio State run. Mike Williams, way off. And Jackson the rebound. Tate, no-look pass, Loving for three from the wing. And Cham clears. Sanders will reset near the half-court line. Shot clock is late. It's at 6. Issa Cham, who can shoot the three. Instead, Sanders. It's an air ball and a shot.
3 of 7 from deep.
Jaquan Lyle checking in and a turnover. Nigel Johnson up the floor. Here come the Scarlet Knights, and Eugene Omoruyi lays it in off the Ohio State turnover. Lyle, go ahead, Sean. I'm sorry.
And to say the coach Mata was less than pleased with the initial passing decision by Jaquan Lyle might be the understatement of the evening. And Rutgers going to a little bit of a different defense here, utilizing a 2-3 zone.
Lyle tweaked his right ankle in practice late last week. Did play against Michigan, came off the bench in 23 minutes. And Thad Mata telling us today he's good to go to play, but not yet 100% to start. So C.J. Jackson remains in the starting lineup.
A nice hustle by Micah Potter to keep that play alive, allowing the conversion at the rim by Williams.
Now Freeman against Andre Wesson.
Nice help right there. Good help by Williams.
Nigel Johnson injured his leg against Iowa, did not play against Penn State. In there tonight, shot clock at 7. Omoruyi slipped, and Buckeyes also were great at the free throw line in that game. Went to the free throw line 28 times and missed only 4.
86% in that ball game after being right around 70% on the year. And you saw Freeman's numbers also chipping in defensively for the Scarlet Knights with 3 steals.
Ball was deflected by the Scarlet Knights. And here's Lyle. Clock at 5. And Potter.
Phenomenal.
Buckeyes will have to get hot to do that again this year. Here's Nigel Johnson. And Omoruyi tapped it. Williams the bounce. Here's Potter. And he misses the dunk. Cham could not hang on to it. The tap, though, to Nigel Johnson.
Beautiful execution by Ohio State. You just have to convert. That was a wonderful job of getting the ball in the middle of the floor and attacking that three-quarter court pressure.
Jonathan Laurent on the floor for the Scarlet Knights. He missed a couple of games with a foot injury. Did play against Penn State. Issa Cham misses the 3. And Potter the rebound. Now Tate slashing and fouled.
Overs in the early going for Jaquan Lyle. 3 as a team have been of the live ball variety.
Of 1,000 in his career.
Ohio State really ratcheting up the defensive pressure. We saw a few possessions ago Rutgers take advantage with it with a back door, but with Thompson and there's a shot blocker, they're able to extend defensively.
Dorson, the offensive rebound of the putback. A guy who's about 50 pounds lighter than he was last year.
And that'll help him stay on the floor, not just with conditioning, but it also has battled foot problems, and losing that weight will certainly reduce the stress on the lower body.
Jackson lost it. Deshaun Freeman.
It would have been a 3-on-2.
Geddes and Mike Williams return for the Scarlet Knights, who trail by 2.
They got to get it to Freeman. They had a mismatch with Jackson. Good help by Lyle.
Mike Williams begging for the ball. Instead, Freeman spins, and that one's swatted by Thompson. It's like a volleyball player going up for a spike on that one. Here's Lyle. Too strong. Thompson, the putback. Off the glass. Not sure if it was a design pass, but it got it worked out that way.
He's going to go by and say, yeah, that was a pass. Give me an assist.
Sanders, he beats Jackson. And there's contact. First foul on Corey Sanders. 4 turnovers apiece. At the halfway point here in the opening half.
And Corey, this is where the absence, because of that injury to Lyle, or to Loving rather, is really evident, because this would be a time where he would be able to get in that high post against that 2-3 zone. But again, if you're Rutgers, you cannot allow Jayshawn Tate to get to that left hand.
Tate with 6. And the Buckeye lead is that. And
before you start your offensive move.
An 8-2 Buckeye run. Here's Jackson in the paint. The floater goes for C.J. Jackson.
Nice job by Jackson. Rutgers thought he was going to accept the screen. He shook it off, goes to his left, hits a difficult floater.
Corey's away in Washington, D.C.
For the offensive variety.
Corey Sanders with hands and arms in his face, still off the glass.
Nice response by Rutgers coming out of the dead ball situation. They get something going to the rim for their best offensive player, Corey Sanders.
Averaging 13 points per game. Jackson, what a pass to Thompson.
And it started with the high screen by Tate. That allowed the teammate to come off shoulder to shoulder. Rutgers has to scramble defensively, and Thompson there to send it home.
Dad Mata telling us today, when we brought up C.J. Jackson's name, he said he is a pass-first point guard. Williams misses the 3, and now Jackson takes it away from Thompson.
He had 8 rebounds last time out from the guard spot.
Thompson against Geddes with the right hand. And Mike Williams with the rebound. Geddes.
Nice dig down by Jackson.
Freeman, a deep 2. Freeman with his first field goal tonight, 3 points in all. The redshirt junior from Rocky Mount, North Carolina.
He was one of several Scarlet Knights that was lost for the season a year ago with injuries, but has really asserted himself as one of the best offensive rebounders in this conference, second in the conference in that category.
There's Tate getting left again and 1.
Dribble penetration and the dunk at the rim for Trevor Thompson a couple of possessions ago.
Foul was on C.J. Geddes, his second. And the Columbus native is on the bench. Shaq Dorsett takes his spot. Under 7 to play. A 9-point Ohio State lead. Matters. Create, shoot, try to make something happen the first 10 seconds of each possession. Now he forces a steal. And here's Freeman driving on Potter, and he tried to dunk it down. And a blocking foul will be called on Potter.
Correctly called in the experimental.
There is a violation of the restricted. There's Tate.
He's going to come back.
Against a double team. No, and there's Potter. Nearly got dunked on a moment ago, and now answers and says, look, I can dunk too.
But look what happens when you force Tate to try to convert with the right hand. He's not nearly as effective. But what he did do is draw attention, and that allowed Potter an unencumbered path to the rim.
17-6 Ohio State run. Scarlet Knights trying to get some momentum back. Here's Cham for 3, and Issa Cham, freshman from Senegal. Steve Peichel telling us earlier that ideally, maybe in a perfect world, if the roster looked differently, a guy like Cham and maybe even Omoruyi would probably take a redshirt this year.
And Cham can shoot the basketball as he showed right there, but physically, you can just tell he's not quite there yet. Another year in a weight program, not just the upper body, which everyone thinks about, but has kind of spindly legs.
Cham can't hit from the other side. Mike Williams, though, with a nice tap to himself, and the pull-up goes. He never gave up on the play. Lyle will check in the next whistle for Ohio State. Nigel Johnson. Lenter for Rutgers off the crossover. Jackson and a charge. His left eye early in this game.
And it was bleeding pretty profusely, so my guess is they're in there trying to remedy that either with some stitches or some of those butterflies.
Couple of good looks, but no bucket. Here is Cam Williams, the kick out. And Lyle off the glass. Potter got it back. Potter had it blocked by Dorsett. But look at the Buckeyes. Still blind to the ball. And now a whistle inside. Mark Loving quickly returned, and now he's staying on the floor. He's riding an exercise bike. There he is. He's got stitches over his left eye. Don't have the amount, the number, but he is going to return. There's Shaq Dorsett. Now Mike Williams for three. It's short, and Cam Williams the rebound. Potter trailing, catching for three.
And he can do that. He's a 37% three-point shooter, and a nice job by his teammates of finding him as the trailer.
I don't think Thad Matta minds that shot one bit. It's a good look. Corey Sanders out, 2 fouls. So
they're going to
Mike Williams trying to create here. And he was fouled.
Chong just walked by us here a couple of minutes ago.
Yeah, still getting after it. We'll see him after all these years. Candido Sa. Mid-range game there. The junior. College transfer from Portugal.
Yeah, that's a guy that they brought in because of his proficiency as a shot blocker. Blocked about 4 shots per ball game a year ago at the JUCO level. Anything offensively for him, that's a bonus.
There's Cam Williams. He's got such a good shot. You just break down the fundamentals and the mechanics of his shot.
And he's also improved that part of his ball game. You know, came here from Baltimore. Essentially, he's a catch and release three-point shooter, but far more than that now if you don't close out under control.
More than 2.5 minutes here for Rutgers. And they keep this game close with Corey Sanders on the bench and 2 fouls. Is Saad.
His passing angle.
Rutgers averaging 14 turnovers per game. They're halfway there with 2:17.
Defender, they got together and said, hey, we're going to try to clean that up, much like with the illegal screens, be it on the perimeter or down in the block.
Here's Freeman on the drive, and with the shoulder, an extra step, and then off the glass.
That play had the subtlety of a 2x4 to the head.
Freeman with 5, and now it's Chom. Loving trying to tap it free instead. Thompson with his 5th rebound to go with 6 points. Tate's had a solid first half.
Boy, Freeman really battling Tate down there.
Williams off the crossover outside the free throw line. It was short, and last touch.
Good duck in by Thompson. Boy, Lyle missed him.
And Thompson, Wagner, Michigan, and this guy in that same group, Trevor Thompson.
And before he would have also been in that conversation. Good job by Williams of being there on Mike Williams on the catch.
Johnson with 8 to shoot. Johnson for 3. And Laurent couldn't handle the rebound, and Freeman late to get back. Numbers here for Ohio State. Now Freeman is back defensively, and Ohio State will call a timeout.
On the defensive end of the floor and rebounding, and he has gotten a squad to buy into that. And this is a team that has competed every night. The Iowa game at home being an exception in league play. This is a team right now no one wants to play because of how hard the Scarlet Knights perform, especially on the defensive end and rebound.
3 to shoot. Lyle lost it. 2 with 1, a turnover. Shot clock is off. Here's Nigel Johnson. He'll drive and lays it off the glass and in. And some pressure applied. It's Tate with 2. Tate lets it go. Good if it goes. And that'll take us to the break. Jackson, Thompson, Loving, and Williams for Ohio State. Underneath, this is Tate. And he misses inside, and Freeman the rebound.
Nice execution by Ohio State against that 2-3 zone. Tate able to sneak behind, just not able to convert.
Rare miss for Tate tonight. 4 of 6. You see the 5 for Rutgers, Sanders, Williams, Freeman, Chom, and Geddes. The Columbus native, C.J. Geddes, has a pass list of about 25 people here tonight. Thompson kind of shoved off Freeman, got away with it, and dunks it home.
I think what allowed Thompson to complete that play is that Freeman was kind of off balance, and he was already fading away by the time that arm kind of got extended.
Thompson, the second Buckeye into double figures. He has 10, Tate 11. Here's Sanders. Shot clock is at 5. The lead from Mike Williams. Good look for 3. Too strong, and Thompson had position inside the rebound.
Nice job by Cam Williams of closing out under control, and Mike Williams didn't help his cause, Corey. He didn't follow through.
Cam Williams driving on Mike Williams, and 2 more for Cam Williams.
Cam Williams having a really solid season. Not just offensively, but defensively. He's done a nice job on Mike Williams tonight, and we talked about it in the first half, has expanded his offensive game to include the ability to score off the dribble.
Williams with 9. Quick 4 for Ohio State to begin the second half. Nice to bounce to Geddes. Shot clock at 4. Geddes against Thompson with the reverse and the spin.
Off complete, especially with his left hand, showing you the importance of putting in the time and becoming a more versatile offensive threat and not just a three-point specialist.
Trevor Thompson, he was hoping for a lob from Cam Williams. Instead, there's Jayshawn Tate. Clock at 4. Loving to Jackson. Lets it fly. The shot clock at 1. C.J. Jackson knocks down his first 3 tonight. He's got 5. Largest lead for the Buckeyes tonight at 11. And Freeman thought that Sanders was going to...
40% three-point shooter at the junior college level. Essentially half of that thus far in his career in Columbus.
Thompson off the dribble against Geddes with a right hand.
Down just slightly, drawing the contact.
I'm glad I brought it up. Yeah, always seems to work out that way, right?
You have that kind of power, Corey.
This is Chom off the fake. And Freeman against Tate. Thompson there to bother the shot. And here comes Jayshawn Tate. C.J. Jackson for 3. He knew that was off. He went for that rebound off the deflection. It's Mike Williams. And now Freeman. Tate going to challenge. No whistle. And Cam Williams has it. Nice job by Tate. He knew he was in the restricted area. That's the only thing you can do. You can't draw a charge. You have to contest. Nice job by Tate. Sanders, a quiet second half so far. Trying to change that.
You could do.
Sanders now. But he had to start over from scratch, Sean, as he looked at his team, and he said it has to begin. The shooting's not going to be there. We know that. We know our personnel, but we can improve defensively. Sanders misses the 3, his own rebound. And now Mike Williams for 2.
A nice unselfish play. That's a shot, that second shot, Sanders probably would have taken a year ago off that carry him back. But he had a decent shot, but he gave it up for a better one. Mike Williams just kind of showing you, to your point, Corey, how this culture around this Rutgers program has changed.
Nice defense there from Chom, who's seeing their rivals and also some players from the past. The journey, Big Ten basketball and beyond. Sunday night, 8:30 Eastern only here on BTN. There's the lob. It's Williams who caught it, reset, and lays it in.
Nice job coming out of the timeout. Again, Ohio State really trying to deny that wing pass, and Rutgers, that's the second time coming out of a timeout. We've seen them try to execute a backdoor cut. A better pass would have converted initially.
Scarlet Knights not going away. Loving and
the curl cut by Loving.
This is the free throw. Foul is on Chom. There's Nigel Johnson. Did not play against Penn State. Injured his leg in the home loss against Iowa last week. The swing to Chom. And Chom knocks down his second three.
And you can see him as he goes back. It's a small thing, but did you notice the confidence, kind of that little bounce in his step as he goes to the defensive end of the floor?
Rutgers now 3 of 12 from 3 tonight. Here's Cam Williams again. Williams now with 11.
Very quietly putting together an all-around solid floor game here is Cam Williams.
Tate, Thompson, and now Williams, all with 11.
Nice job by Cam Williams of getting over the top defensively on Johnson.
Omoruyi. Deep 2 off the mark. Shaq Dorsey, the offensive rebound with the right hand.
That's a tough conversion because I don't think he picked up the rim until he'd gone into a shooting motion, and he also had to be cognizant of the shot blocker, Trevor Thompson.
Buckeyes still control the rebound number +4. That's an area of strength.
In your screen, but also not pictured there was Trevor Thompson, who was coming over as well.
Williams off a screen and a miss, and Dorsey the rebound. Foul is on Omoruyi. His first in 3 team fouls. There's Williams driving. Tip, no. Williams still fighting for it. Tate the save, but he was on the 6 minutes. Does have 5 rebounds, though. And Sanders bumped by Jaquan. Foul on Lyle. The Wren against Loving. No. Dorson, there he is again.
Yeah, Shaq Dorson.
The lead's been 9. It's been double figures. The Scarlet Knights refusing to go away. 4-point game. Here's Lyle, the high arcing shot, and so Lyle shooting 2, second. It's his right ankle in practice late last week. Sanders around Potter, and a foul. Foul on Potter. 5 team. Contact inside. Play continues. Potter with a putback and the roll.
And Potter just bailed out Jaquan Lyle. I mean, he just threw that up.
Steve Michael thought that was a charge. Sanders
to Ohio State and minute.
6-point game as C.J. Jackson turns for the Buckeyes. He's been quiet here in the second half.
Nice job by Dorson of helping out there.
Michael told us that Tate would see a couple of different looks defensively. Right now it's Omoruyi. The lob is intercepted by Chom, and then
as well as Rutgers getting possession.
Listen, Chom, look at that. He's nowhere near the free throw line. Corey Sanders against Wesson. Off the glass, no. And Tate with the rebound inside. Corey Sanders has been attacking the glass here this half, and a whistle. Thompson asking for the ball. And C.J. Geddes. Here's Thompson with a right hand, too strong, and Geddes the rebound.
I think Geddes was anticipating a foul being called. Did you see him? He just kind of stopped.
There's that 10-second window. Steve Michael says, Corey Sanders, all you. And sure enough, 10 seconds into the possession, he passes it off. And now Laurent trying to create. Doesn't get the roll. Geddes with the tap, no.
Trying to keep possessions alive for Rutgers.
16-8. Rutgers run. 4-point game as Williams throws it away.
Yeah, turnovers have hindered Ohio State's efforts tonight.
Sanders off the...
Where you are, down.
Now flip that to Rutgers. Corey Sanders, he's been driving right this entire half.
And he's been driving right in transition. So part of that is...
Minnesota, Iowa follows us. That should be a great game. This one's been solid as well. Loving across his face. This is the second off the tip, and it's Mike Williams.
You cannot let Sanders get ahead of steam, and a good job of walling up there by Thompson until Cam Williams was able to recover, or Jackson rather.
Rutgers can tie the game, take the lead with a 3 here.
Well, they're clearing out that right side of the floor.
Here it is again, and Love tonight. This is Williams for 2 in the tie. And we're even at 50. Mike Williams with 11. 9:20 to go, all even.
Boy, Sanders just trying to force Jackson any way but to his strong side.
A near steal instead. Jayshawn Tate picked up his dribble. Cam Williams trying to answer.
Smart play by Jayshawn Tate. He's able to get...
They're going to change that. Cam Williams made field goal from a 3 to a 2. Deshaun Freeman fell out. Geddes with the tap. 12 points. It's 12 points to lead the Scarlet Knights. Sanders for 3.
That's tough for Jayshawn Tate because he did a very good job of taking away what had been successful for Sanders, Corey, in terms of going to the right hand, and nice step back by the sophomore.
Really hasn't shot the 3 well. Did it 4 though against Penn State. Knocks down his first one tonight. There's the lob. Thompson too deep and nearly lost it there as he was going up and got the roll.
Good delivery from Loving.
Under 8 to play. Sanders against Tate. Williams. No. Dorson the tip. And here's Jayshawn Tate. Williams off the fake. Resets for 3. And Sham the rebound. Sanders leaves it for Freeman. In transition.
Nice play by Sanders. A year ago, Corey, he's going to take that all the way himself, but he waited for Freeman to run that left wing and gave it to him.
Steve Peichel telling us today, when given the chance, considering how the Scarlet Knights have struggled in the half court offensively, shooting the ball, when they have a chance, they have to run, and they did. Thompson, no. And Dorson the rebound. Rutgers to take the lead. And a nice lead of 1, Sean, 8-7. Nearly 5 minutes into the first half. Sanders the miss. And Thompson the rebound.
And nice time, last time down the floor defensively by Dorson of walling up on Thompson. I think conditioning right now, this is a lot more minutes than you usually see Shaq Dorson playing. I think he's a little winded. If you're Ohio State, you try to go inside and take advantage of that. Look, he's bending over at the waist rather than the knees.
Pick up there, Loving for 3. That was short. And Freeman the rebound. Scarlet Knights have 3 players waiting to check in. Here's Williams on the drive. No. Dorson the putback rejected by Thompson.
And you can see he just didn't have enough gas to elevate.
Jayshawn Tate against Freeman. Jackson has it blocked by Chom. And tonight. And a miss there for Williams. Decent Chom. Can he do it again? That 3 doesn't go, and Tate the rebound. He's hit a couple of 3s tonight, the freshman.
And Geddes back in there with 4 fouls, trying to contain Trevor Thompson, who has very quietly put up a double-double with 15 and 10, also blocked 3 shots.
Shot clock at 9. Williams for 3.
Boy, that's nice. Really nice offense by Ohio State. You saw the dribble drive by Williams, the lead for Jackson. He dribbles into the lane, little misdirection. That allows Williams to step into that 3 from the corner. Good job by Ohio State.
His highest scoring Big Ten game this year, Cam Williams with 16. He's hit 2 threes. Sanders tonight. Mark Loving against Geddes, who's on the floor with 4 fouls, and Williams with the save. Williams open.
Oh, you fouled him. The time you're close after they went on the road and won at Illinois earlier this week.
So both Sanders and Geddes still on the floor, both with 4 fouls off the crossover, and
so much. Even with those 4 fouls, you're under the 5-minute mark. You just rolled the dice. It just didn't pay off for you there if you're Rutgers. I mean, where's he throwing that thing?
Off a deflection, Mike Williams gets it to Cam Williams. Ohio State fortunate to keep the ball and 7 to shoot. Jackson the bounce. Another pass that's deflected. So minus Sanders. Where does Rutgers go now, Sean, for offense?
I'd try to get something going with Freeman.
Here is Freeman against Tate. Good defense there from Tate.
And a nice help out there by C.J. Jackson, forcing Freeman to give it up.
Nigel Johnson, his pass along the baseline, deflected. Williams with a look to Geddes.
Boy, Williams, really nice job of coming off that curl with his head up. Puts the ball on the floor, a little rhythm dribble, draws the attention of Ohio State defensively, and then the excellent delivery to Geddes.
State, and also Purdue, but Geddes, the Columbus native, opted to go to Piscataway for 1 more year in college basketball. Williams from the baseline.
The few times that you've seen Cam Williams go up into a shooting motion with his feet not set, he was kind of fighting his feet, fading away, hence he left it short.
Rutgers could tie it. Geddes with 4 fouls against Trevor Thompson. Left it short, and all Thompson inside is 11th rebound. To go with 15 points, Trevor Thompson. 9 double-doubles on the year.
Yeah, they can isolate him right now. Yep. Smart. Really smart.
Tate took his time and could not convert. There's Geddes. He did this against Iowa. He handled the ball, in fact, went end-to-end with a layup.
And Champagne.
Yeah, stayed out of foul trouble. And Corey Sanders is fouled out. So right now it's Mike Williams. Deshaun Freeman off the fake. Got Tate up. Freeman drives and is fouled.
On the season or tonight.
Make this a 1-point game.
He might have been better served keeping the tape on.
Deshaun Tate has not scored in the second half. Thompson against Geddes. Really try to force possession plays out.
Yeah, because he would have been better served with Geddes on him in that last sequence that we took a look at to just go right up. Geddes has 4 fouls, can't contest really aggressively.
1:40 to play in a 2-point game. Late clock for Chom. Now Johnson, this for the lead. It's an air ball. Freeman has to put it up. It's blocked by Tate. Steal off the inbounds pass. Williams off the block, off the glass. No, but there's Chom for the tie. Another Buckeye turnover. This one ties the game at 62.
And Chom has just really played probably his best game in a Rutgers uniform thus far. Not just knocking down a couple of threes, but has been very aggressive with his hands defensively.
Cam Williams for the lead, and he's fouled.
For Ohio State. Depending on what Rutgers does here, do you try to get Williams back on the offensive end?
Mike Williams misses the 3. Take the rebound. Nigel Johnson defending. And Deshaun Tate is on the inbound pass here from Loving.
That could be a whole lot that comes off.
So Tate shooting 2, and that works out well for the Scarlet Knights. Tate misses 2 in a 4-point game. Johnson the floater, no, the tip there from Freeman. And it is Loving. And there's right now Loving shooting 2 for the lone Buckeye senior.
and try to extend this ball game. Three-point shooting is not your forte.
Freeman will try that. It's spun out. Thompson the rebound. And now Cam Williams attempt all year. Final 10 seconds. Johnson lost it. The save for Tate. And now Cam Williams, fitting that he has the ball in his hands for the final seconds.